What up, friends? Welcome to the Why the F Not podcast. I am your host, Stephen Brogan Cortez. This is episode 45. In today's episode, my guest is Babyghost, an LA-based Santa Rosa native musician, a genderless, genreless musician who honestly I had the best time having a talk with. I hope you enjoy peeking into the mind of Babyghost. Now, without further ado, let's go. Sorry, I'm recording now.
I'm so glad that worked.
Now that we're just comfy and we're all set up, I feel like, how are you? First off, I wanted to ask, for the podcast, yes, do you want to be referred to as Babyghost? Do you go by your artist name?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hell yeah, Babyghost. Dig it. Well, okay. Well, ladies and gents, people of all shapes and sizes and identities, all you beautiful people out there, we got Babyghost here today at the Why the F Not podcast. Funny enough, I don't think I've ever actually met Babyghost face to face yet, or even this. I think this is even our first conversation. Like, that's not text.
I was thinking about that. It's been so long.
I feel like we have such such a strong bond already. And I think, call it, if you want, trauma bonding, if you want, like our connection was Lancey Pants, our boy Lance. That was our connection. We lost a friend, a mutual friend, and we're just there for each other. And I got to discover this beautiful friend here, this amazing friend who's so talented. And just, I've been seeing you just develop as an artist, and it's been pretty fascinating to watch, but welcome. Hello, and let me throw it to you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. I'm, going through the motions as we do, especially as artists, and just trying to stay afloat. Really.
Yeah. Is this your first time doing a podcast?
I've done a couple in the past, but they've been really intermittent. I feel like as I do more shows, I do more of everything else, like the interviews and the podcasts and everything, which is super cool because I just get to do what I do in a different medium.
So for those who aren't too well versed with Babyghost, what have you been up to? What's your music been like? What's like the life of you as Babyghost the artist? Tell me, please.
Well, I say two things about my music, which are that I'm genderless and genreless, and that I write sad songs in every genre, that going back to the genreless. So I definitely write a lot about love and loss because I think there's two sides of the same coin in some regard. And I've been writing music since I was 8, but writing good music since I was probably 18.
Writing good music.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it was real bad at the beginning, but you have to start somewhere. So once I moved to LA, it's almost been a year here now, so I've just really been trying to grind and get to know people and get to be in spaces where my art is inspired and inspiring, so yeah, it's been a fun time.
Is your art just music, or does your art expand to other mediums?
Mostly, well, I consider myself a musician for sure. I also consider myself a creative because I'm always collaging and making zines and doing things that will add to my art in some capacity.
If I may jump, what are zines?
Zines are like these little, I might have one here actually. They're like little mini magazines basically, and the whole idea is that it's something that you can put in your pocket or into your backpack. They're kind of tie into the Riot Girl movement and punk movements of DIY stuff.
Wait,
so
Riot? So I have so many questions. Damn, dude, I love it. God, Riot. What was that? What was that first thing you said? Riot Girl? Right.
Yeah. So
What's
Riot
that?
Girl is a musical movement that was around kind of like 90s ish. It's Bikini Kill is a huge face of the movement. Polystyrene is a huge face of the movement. Also, the Go-Go's, you probably know that. They were
Go-Go's? Yeah, okay.
totally a part of the movement, and then people say, oh, like, oh, they sold out or whatever. But that's besides the point. Riot Girl is based in defying authority. It's based in girls to the front, because in so many shows there'd be men in the front, men moshing, like men taking up space. And so Riot Girl movement was like, yo, fuck that. Sorry.
No,
They were
please
like,
cut. Nah, dude, fuck that. No, this is why the F not. We
fuck that. They decided, like, we're gonna bring girls to the front. And while I'm not a girl, I definitely identify with like the riot ghoul movement,
Ooh,
I
Riot
say, because
Ghoul.
yeah,
Again, for everyone who
yeah.
didn't hear that, genderless and genreless.
Mm-hmm,
My partner
mm-hmm.
Stephanie loved that. She when I was explaining just reading your bio to her, because like this is also our first conversation, right? I had to go on your on your Instagram bio, because I was like, oh yeah, she does this, and I was like, wait, I don't think that's her pronoun. I mean, again, see, I don't think that's her pronouns. I actually had to go there on your bio and read it, and then I was like, yes, they, them, and then genderless and genreless, and she was like, oh, rock on, and
Yeah.
and it was just also just because like Stephanie was talking to me about how when it comes to people's pronouns, it's never bad to ask, especially like I wasn't, I honestly wasn't sure. I was mispronoun, but what's the way was I was saying the wrong pronoun for you, I just accidentally saying she or something. I was like, wait, no, they, them, that's what they go by, and I don't know why it made me a little nervous, why, like it's like that. It's like for folks who don't think about pronouns as much, like I don't as much, honestly, right? But like for those who do use pronouns, it's like I've heard it's not bad to ask questions if you have questions, if you're like I don't want
Yeah.
to say the wrong pronoun,
Exactly. Because it's all coming, as long as it's coming from a place of good intent, I think people can really pick up on that, and that's how I learned, and that's how I came into my gender identity. It was by like learned experiences and asking questions of people with learned experiences that weren't trying to put too much labor on them.
Yeah. God. Yeah, there's on Xbox. It's just so funny. On Xbox, they have something called the platinum rule. How we have the golden rule, and the golden rule is
Yeah.
treat others as you want to be treated, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
the platinum rule is you treat others as they want to be treated.
Mm.
Because if you treat others as you want to be treated, that's still kind of self-centered in a sense. You're treating them
Yeah.
as you think they want to be treated. But you take it a step further outside of your own space. You treat others as they would like to be treated, whoever they are.
That's very true. Wow. Xbox ahead of the curve. That's pretty cool.
I read that and I was taken back by it. I was like, oh, okay, Xbox. It was under like their guidelines for like, because for Xbox Live and gaming, it's like, no, the platinum rule. That's what we go by.
Damn. They're really doing the damn thing. I like that. I like that.
Dude,
I always did kind of resent the golden rule a little bit. I was like, it's a little bullshit. Because you're right, it's always going to be subjective.
It is. People like to be treated differently. Some people like to be treated nicely, and then some people like to be lovingly choked every now and then by, with consent, Like there's a spectrum. Life is
Exactly.
a spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Everything. That's exactly how I operate.
But like people can't see that sometimes because it just takes a little bit of effort to like step out of what is your little mind and see that there are other little minds out there,
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, have you seen
It's a bigger picture.
Speaking of bigger picture, have you seen those latest photos from the JWTS whatever telescope?
Oh my gosh. And the fact that they got them within a day, it's like, what are we going to start to see in the coming weeks?
Years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that photo where it was like that one square, right? And then you see all the galaxies and the swirls and all these stars and the clarity. And then this one video I saw, they zoomed out and they explained it as What you see in this photo is if you were to
Grain of
hold a grain of
rice.
a grain of rice and you hold it up to the sky, we're zoomed in on about that much of sky.
Yeah, what? So crazy, so crazy. We're really just tiny.
Like Stephanie says,
Little.
we're all little like star seeds, you know?
Yep.
She looked at the
Hmm.
picture and she goes, "Oh, that's my galaxy. That's where I'm from. That's where my star seed originates from."
I love that. It's real shit.
Like stuff thinking like that is no different, honestly, as a faith, as any other faith, whether it's Buddhism, Christianity,
Oh,
whatever. It's all faith.
exactly.
This
We
one,
all just want to believe in something.
like this one guy on TikTok, fucking TikTok, dude. I swear, it's like I'm making sure my algorithm is like well filtered, so I'm like putting shit into my head that will be like not detrimental. So I'm trying to hear like good
Right.
positive vibes. And one guy said in a video, he said, "You can't believe something you know. No, you can't know something you believe."
I think I saw that video. I think I saw that.
And he was describing how he's like, "Do you know who your parents are?" He's like, "Yeah, I know who my parents." You don't believe who your parents are, right? Because believe means that you don't know. But if you know, you know.
Right.
There's no belief. So faith. I don't know. When people with faith start talking about how they know, it's like, oh fuck, you missed the target, bud.
Right. Exactly. We don't know anything. Like we know some things, but what I believe is that like we have some sort of knowledge and we're just like finding it as we go along life. But really at the end of the day, like we're not going to come out of it being fucking geniuses. We're still not going to know shit. We're just going to have picked up some useful tactics and knowledge to like guide us along whatever fucking journey we're on, you know?
There's like literal clues in the stars in our DNA, like little remnants of our history of like oh hey, the stuff
Yeah.
in the stars, that's the same shit in our bodies on this planet. It's all one.
Mhm.
People like to
And
believe.
like physics, like, you know, energy is never created or destroyed. Like every action is an opposite equal reaction. Like those are scientific facts. And when we apply it to ourselves, it's like suddenly they become ludicrous. But it's like, bro, that's just science. Like, what? People always arguing science. Like, bro, we can believe things and still also accept that there are
Things we
these
don't know.
scientific facts and evidences. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's things
And
we know and
so
there's
much
things
shit
we
we don't
don't
know.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that you
So
know
much.
everything, and the thing that and to walk around think like believing that you know everything and you have the answer, I think is
Right.
so it's detrimental. It's like crippling for your soul, crippling for your experience, right?
Completely.
Fuck, dude. Oh, I'm glad you came onto this podcast. Uh,
Me too. Shit.
I want to talk about your latest song, My Body, My Choice. I was listening to it right now. I showed Stephanie before we got on. My Body, My Choice, dude.
Oh, sweet.
Your lyrics are rebellious yet fun. Your rhythm is it flows, but it has also it flows, but it also has this it stops you at some point because you're like, oh, now we're going with triplets. Now da 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 da. And yeah, dude, and it just sounds like you're having fun, you know, while you're just spitting some truth to us. You know what I mean? But so tell me about My Body, My Choice and the creation of that song, if you will.
Man, I it's actually, I don't know. It was definitely a wild ride because I woke up Friday, you know, saw that Roe v. Wade was overturned, got my ass up. I was like, well, I went to bed knowing that I would probably wake up to this, and yet here it is, and it just feels like so fucked. And I started driving downtown to protest, and like on my way, I was looking for music, like, yo, I gotta get amped up, like I gotta get in the zone. And I was like, there's not a song for like exactly what I need right now. Like I'm sure it exists, but it wasn't anything like mainstream, anything that I could find that was easily accessible. So I was like, shit, I think I have a beat for this. So I like put it on the radio, or like put it on my car, started like hashing some shit out in my head, and then I turned my car around, went back home, tracked the demo, wrote it all out, finished the song, went back to the protest, marched, whatever, next day, performed the song at the protest, the next protest, and then actually got in the studio with my friend Momo, who made the beat like a couple days later after that, and we like tracked a proper version of the song that wasn't just a shitty demo I did in my room like this, you know. And then
Holy
we put it
shit.
out.
So you wrote that song in a span, if I heard correctly, what, maybe 24 hours
Couple
from like the moment
hours.
of.
Probably like 3-4 hours. Yeah. Because I was just like feeling so many things, and I was so amped up, and I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, like I just have to. And like my major in college was challenging social constructs through music and literary arts. And I was like, shit, if I'm going to apply that anytime, it's got to be now. You know, like I don't know, man. Like that's how I know how to communicate best, is through music, and that's how I know how to reach people best, is through music. So I was like, shit, this is mine to be speaking on, especially because so many people are saying it's a women's rights issue, and it's not. It's a human rights issue. So
Yeah.
I just thought, like, why the hell not, you know?
Why the fuck not, right?
Why the fuck not?
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Fuck. I love that, they say necessity is the father of invention, right? Or the mother of invention, the parent of invention, whatever you'd like, right? And you had that
Mhm.
necessity. Like, I need a song that represents how I feel right now. And there was nothing there. And you had this moment, that spark that was like, I can make it. I'm going to make it. And you went with it. That's like courage. That's straight courage. Because some people get to that point, right? Where they're like, there's something that I need in this world that's not there, and I can make it. But why would I? Why? But fuck, you did it, dude. You were just like, why not? Like, let me get in my room in my fucking home studio, do a demo track, and see what happens. Like, holy shit,
basically.
bravo, Babyghost. Oh my god. Like, is it like would it be all right to share a little on the podcast right now of your song?
Oh, sure.
like you're like, with your permission, of course, right? Like, this is your song, but I just want to just get a little bit in there because it's a fucking dope song.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy with the response it's been getting. You know, like, I always feel like if no one listens to it, I made it and I like it. I liked it enough to put it out. And now it's out there and it doesn't belong to me anymore, you know? Like, I can't walk with it in the world. So, like, whatever fucking happens is gonna happen. It's not my prerogative to, like, feel some type of way.
Dude, like, you never know. There'll be some person out there who was probably feeling those same emotions you're feeling, right? About Roe v. Wade being overturned, and they're feeling angry, and they're like, what is there to make me feel like I'm not alone with how I'm feeling? What's there to make me feel like I'm here and like these feelings are real and valid? And then boom, there's this fucking song, you know? And they're like, holy shit, this is real. Okay, I'm not crazy. Thank you, Babyghost. Thank you. But let's see.
It's crazy.
Let me get this set up, because like, I would be more than fucking honored to share your music right now. Let's see. Yes, beautiful. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start it up right now. I wonder if you can hear it. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I wonder. Let me check Discord, because I want to like jam out together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. Let's see. Let me just play it right now. See what you hear. If you hear it.
Bitch. Artist, my body, my choice. Student, my body, my choice. Sex worker, my body, my choice.
Hear it,
Human, my body, my choice. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. Bitch.
Look, it's in the
my body, my
podcast right
choice.
now.
My body, my choice. My body, my choice. Bitch.
Here we go.
It played the end and had a sick beat, and they heard it. the people listening to the podcast heard it right now. You know what? Son of a bit. I'm just going to get my phone out. I'm so stupid. I'm just going to do it like this. ¿Sabes qué? Why not?
Ah.
So you can hear it too. Here we go. Play it off my phone, please. Let's see.
Multiple devices are always a lifesaver.
Can you hear that well? Hey.
Are you really gonna tell me that all you fucking think is how to prevent, block, ban, and avert attention from anything less than empty words? The richest, delicious as I can see is that the whole thing is just a bunch of irony. You see, nobody was really ever holding the key, at least not a man sitting on the damn floor supreme. My body, my choice. Body, my choice. Body, my choice, bitch. My body, my choice.
I'm not going to play the whole thing because if people want to hear the rest of it, they got to go check it out on Spotify.
It's true.
But
or
what a
anywhere
story,
else.
dude. What a fucking story about how you wrote that song. Like it's inspirational, honestly.
It was definitely a trip. That's why I said it was a wild ride. Definitely one of the crazier, like, I don't know. I've been put into some situations where it's like, you know, write this day of, write this in this amount of time, or write to this really weird beat or whatever. But like this was very different in all aspects because I just like wanted to put my heart in it.
That's beautiful. Fuck yeah. I wonder, did Gender Envy have that kind of journey too? Because that's another song that I think that looks like that was released right before My Body, My Choice. Like you write from the heart. So was that kind of the same thing where you were like, there's no song that represents like this feeling or something, or this experience that I'm feeling, and so boom.
Yeah, kind of. But I also like that was a song that I wanted to challenge myself with, and it was my first song that was like more of a rap vibe. Because I had started listening to a bunch of Rico Nasty and PP Cocaine, aka Trap Bunny Bubbles.
Nice.
They just, especially Trap Bunny Bubbles, like they have such a sound that I hadn't heard in terms of like tonality vocally, and I was like, oh, I don't need to have like this smooth, cool rap sound. Like I don't sound like that. I sound like Fran Drescher, you know what I mean? Like
I didn't hear that myself, but I'm gonna hear your songs differently from now on.
like, you know, I just thought like why not lean into that almost like over the top, like bitey, like yelling sound. And the best thing that I felt like I could do that with was a song about like coming into my own as a non-binary person, you know. And I had so many verses and so many raps that all kind of like tied into the same theme. And so then I ended up writing Gender Envy around those bits and pieces that I already had. And I was like, okay, well, if this is the time that I'm going to rap, like I'm going to take all my raps that I've ever written on like library study days where I took too much Adderall, you know, and I'm going to use them.
Yeah. So like what's the time frame of these raps you just been creating? Like how long have you been writing them?
Probably since like freshman year of college, which was like 2017, because I started taking poetry and we would do like so many exercises that turned into these really rhythmic poems that turned into raps that turned into like, you know, whatever they did. But
yeah, they were changing and adapting, as I don't know if it's safe to say, but like was your art kind of shaping along with however like 2017, like that's when it started. Freshman year, were you still discovering your identity at that point? Was it a thought that just happened? Like did these two things correlate? Totally. You know,
I think, you know, I first started thinking about my gender in 2016 when I took a gap year, and then I started like exploring pronouns, and then I moved out of Santa Rosa and the whole world opened up. And then I went to an extremely accepting and like experimental, rebellious college within a college that, like, you know, allowed me to grow in that way. And
Ah,
then,
nice.
like, they were also giving me show opportunities and giving me jobs as a research assistant for the creative writing director, you know? So it's like definitely those two things were running parallel, and I didn't see the integration until I was like in the thick of it, you know?
That's, I mean, that just seems like life imitating art, imitating life, you know?
Totally.
And like, I don't know what you were
Yeah.
going through in, in those days, but I mean, like a lot of artists, I mean, we cope through our art, right?
Oh, yeah.
If whether we know it or not, whether it's subconscious or like you're doing it on purpose, right? Like we cope through our art.
Completely. And I've done that 1,000 times over, especially during those years, because it was like, I had to just experience the hardest loss and
Mm.
first loss of my life. So it was like, how do you reconcile those two things, especially as an artist who already like is going to be coming from a place of vulnerability and emotion and sensitivity,
I
as I
per-
think most of us do.
yeah, I personally think Lance would be very proud of you. He'd be rocking out to your music, hyping you up. He'd be hyping you up. He'd be proud of you. He'd be like, "Fuck yeah, get it, baby, go." Yeah, because we were talking about like the beginning of our conversation about love and loss, right? And I mean, those two are very intertwined and connected. I mean, when we lose someone very dear to us in our lives, we experience grief. And what's grief but just all this love we have for this person, and it has nowhere to go now,
Yeah.
you know? So what do? You crumble and die inside, or you cope with your art, you cope with something, you talk about it, you do what you can. We talked about it.
Hmm. Yeah.
You have to talk about it. It was a hard loss losing Lance. It was hard.
Yeah.
Dang, man. Getting real. A little moment for our boy. A little remembrance. Yeah, he would be proud of you, man. He'd probably have a podcast himself. He'd have a podcast. He'd probably
Oh, that's definitely undoubtedly true.
he was already streaming. I don't know, like I think I've shared with you, but he was streaming video games already. But like,
Right.
so he would have continued that for sure. He would have. Oh man, the world is
Nah,
definitely.
he'd be streaming and he'd be on Broadway at the same time.
He would be doing it all. Honestly, nothing could stop that kid, man. God. Oh, that was beautiful. Well, okay, so let's see. So, uh, I don't know if this is the right time or not, but like I have the questions. I have a certain set of questions I have
Totally.
for my guests, right? And
Okay.
I gotta say it out loud. I've kind of cheated my first guests because I didn't tell them all the questions. I didn't ask all of them because I forgot. Fuck, there's 5 more.
Oh
Damn it.
no.
But so I don't know how long it's gonna take because there's 10 questions. All
Okay.
right. Pretty simple questions, but just take your time. If you want to think about the question and like how you want to answer it, please do. All right. So 10 questions. These are from Inside the Actor Studio. Don't know if you knew that show. It was James Lipton and Pace University, I believe, and it was an acting class where he would interview actors, artists, and grad students would be watching the show or the interview and just getting to pick their brains and just get into their minds. So let's just get into your mind with these questions. All right.
Cool. All right.
Let's see. First question. What is your favorite word?
Hmm. My favorite word is always changing, but right now, probably checkmate, because I recently learned that checkmate comes from like I don't know if it's German or maybe like a Danish word that means the king is removed, and then before that, there was a translation that meant the king is dead, which is highly contested because checkmate, the king is not dead, the king just goes away. So, anyways, Checkmate.
Rad. What is your least favorite word?
Probably like, n- probably like knee or something. Just kind of unpleasant.
I love it. Knee? Dig
Yeah.
it. Dig it.
Gross. Knee.
Knee. All right. Next question. What turns you on? What makes you happy?
I mean, music. I was gonna try to think of anything else, but I don't think it would be accurate. So,
I love
music.
it. I love it. What turns you off? What makes you unhappy?
Silence. Sometimes. Situational silence.
All right. All right. What sound or noise do you love?
I love rain. I love shoes on gravel. I love like drums, a loud drum set. Yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Fucking forks on plates. Ugh,
Ooh.
terrible. It's like actual pain.
All right. All right. Oh, this is a fun one. What is your favorite curse word?
Probably fuck. I just say it a lot, but you know, I like merde, shit in French because it's
Ooh.
just like such a guttural like merde, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merde. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Maybe like mechanics. Like bike mechanics. I think that'd be cool.
Nice. What profession would you not like to do?
Anything in an office. 9 to 5. Something I'm indoors all day. Anything that doesn't fuel my creativity. Just a lot of things.
All right. Now, this next question nowadays, because people's mindset about the afterlife, it varies. So I want you to interpret this in your own way. But if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God or whatever entity that would be there to greet us? What would you like God to say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Let me take you to your homies. And do you want a bong rip?
Oh man, that's like the best
I
way.
can't lie.
That sounds like that
Because
sounds
that's heaven, dude. Like, that's heaven.
that is heaven. That is
So,
heaven. Well, I think we made it to the end of the podcast. I don't know if there's anything you want to plug, Babyghost, let them know what you're doing.
oh shit. Well, I do have a new song coming out on Friday called
Hey,
Linktree/girl. Actually, in parentheses, girl. Um, it's gonna be like the inverse opposite of My Body, My Choice. Same content, different vibe. Um, and just like very excited to get this out because I've had it on the books for years now. And finally, it seems like it's the right time for it to be free in the world. So I'm super excited about that. It's going to be, let me see, July 15th.
July 15th, luxury parentheses girl.
Yeah.
Maybe you can
Out
come
everywhere.
back after the song comes out. Maybe we can talk about that song and
Hell
anything else
yeah.
about the afterlife. Maybe talk about our thoughts of what's in the great beyond, psychedelics, trippy
Ooh.
stuff.
Oh man, that's a whole fucking yeah.
I would love to have you back. But thank you so much, Babyghost. Babyghost,
Yeah, of
check out
course.
her latest single, My Body, My Choice. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Welcome to the end of the episode. That was Babyghost. If you are interested in any of their music, please search them up. Search them up on Spotify. Google them. Babyghost, Babyghost. Check out their latest single, My Body, My Choice, on Spotify. Anywhere you get music, check out Gender Envy, another great single of theirs. But that was Why the F Not podcast. Please go check out my Instagram, Steven_Brogan_Cortez. Check out the Why the F Not podcast Instagram. Don't forget, you're enough. You're more than enough. It's crazy how enough you are. All right, bye.